This is the three-sided geometry of India's new center of power, a soft triangle of red and tan stone designed to serve as the nation's legislative core. It stands in direct contrast to the colonial-era rotunda nearby, the circular structure that housed the assembly during the country's transition to independence in the 1920s. At independence, the nation faced a vacuum of governance. Millions of citizens, speaking dozens of languages, were suddenly granted the universal right to vote. Surviving as a republic required a parliament designed to organize that massive scale of diverse representation. On August 14, 1947, this transition became officially recognized as the first Indian government to control of its own governance. To mark the occasion, a silver scepter, the Sengol, was handed to the first prime minister. Dating to the Chola period, this scepter features Nandi at its peak, representing Dharma and the expectation that power is tied to righteous duty. To see how that duty is carried out today, we have to look inside the two chambers that house the modern legislative process. The first chamber is the Lok Sabha, or the House of the People, distinguished by its green carpet and a ceiling inspired by the peacock. With a capacity of 550 members, this is the room for direct representation, where seats are allocated based on the population of each state. Across the hall is the Rajya Sabha, the Council of States, which uses a lotus-themed design and is draped in red. This bicameral structure allows for federalism. While the Lok Sabha represents the people directly, members here are elected to protect the interests of the individual states. This division ensures that no single center of power can operate without balancing the national will against local sovereignty. The primary function of these chambers is lawmaking. We can see the machinery in action by looking at the journey of the Right to Education Act. A broad constitutional directive was translated into a draft proposed law known as a bill. Standing committees scrutinized every detail, debating funding and infrastructure before the document proceeded. After passing both houses, it received the president's assent, solidifying into an act. In this system, a law is the product of a deliberate process designed to ensure rigorous review. While Parliament makes the laws, the Union Executive, led by the Prime Minister, is responsible for implementing them and running the government. Because the executive holds such significant power, the Parliament acts as a constant watchdog. During the daily question hour, ministers are required to stand before the Lok Sabha to justify their policies and answer direct questions from representatives. This design keeps those in power under a state of institutionalized interrogation by the people's representatives. Beyond the formal rules, the chambers operate as a dynamic space where debates move between rigorous policy and human expression. To keep these discussions accessible, live translation services are provided for nearly 20 different Indian languages. You might hear ancient Tamil ethics used to frame modern economic goals, such as when Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman recited verses from the Tirukkural during a budget speech. Opposing leaders often launch critiques using Urdu poetry, such as when Sushma Swaraj used verse to question the government's leadership during a spirited debate. These poetic challenges have been met with equally sharp, calm rebuttals from the executive bench. Inside these stone walls, the atmosphere is fueled by a blend of history, humor, and linguistic agility. Looking at these structures together, you see the physical progress of the Republic over the last 75 years. As the Constituent Assembly once noted, the Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It is a vehicle of life. This new building is the latest physical manifestation of that living vehicle. It houses a system where power is never absolute, but is checked, questioned, and legally bound to the people it serves.